Hi, as Harsh mentioned, my name is Hassan. I'm the founder and CEO of Via AI. And I think as AI boom is happening, more and more companies, one-person companies, two-person companies, small three, four-member team are building AI products, launching them, scaling them, and having a wild adoption across the internet. A lot of examples that I can think of is one is Cursor for tech companies. Cursor is basically a tool which anybody can use. It's like VS Code, wherein anybody can use to code, and it automates and helps you to write code. It has an AI assistant built in that can automate and help you write majority parts of the code. So Cursor is one company which is I think maybe a 4 or 5 member company. They are already doing $200 million annual recurring revenue, and they just started from 4 people, I believe, and all of them are co-founders. So essentially, this is just one example how a very small people team, or also like Sam Altman mentions that one person, we are moving to a future where one person company will make $1 billion. So yes, that's possible, and we will also discover rather how we can achieve that. Moving on, the first and the foremost important step is to basically find a niche, understanding the market, and focusing on what you can do in this particular market, which is very specific but can still solve a lot of problems. While this a passive uh, kind of interview, but uh, or rather a talk. Uh, but I think it's very important to brainstorm on what niche to prefer, because that niche should also relate and resonate to you from your individuality, from the kind of person we are. Because some problem might not resonate with us, but we still, just because it's a problem, we will go forward and build it. And that is something that we should never do. There are instances, because building a company is a very long journey and can be exhilarating and at the same time depressing or full of anxiety, full of ups and downs also. So it's very important that you are really passionate about the problem, you really understand, and you really want to solve that problem. Otherwise, the reason kind of erodes away, drifts away, and you no longer want to solve that problem or be in the space of building a company. So that's why you have to relate with that problem, that niche that you are exploring. So first of all, analyze the market, find different problems that you want to solve, then pick a problem that is very close to your heart or you really want to solve. Like for me, I think because I moved to a different country, I had to set a lot of things for myself, like buying a new SIM card, buying a new internet connection, buying a new gas connection. So I had to do a lot of things from scratch that we might not do when we are already living in our existing environments. And to do that, I had to talk to a lot of companies, reach out to them, and they were not replying. They were not very fast. Things took days, and that's why I believed that customer communication problems like the contact centers, call centers, that is a really major problem that I think is happening around the world. And that is the reason why I started VAI. So this problem was very close to me. I was already working in audio, basically audio processing. And while moving to a different country, I realized contact centers, call centers are really broken. They don't provide you the right solution at the right time. They are long waiting lines, a lot of problems. So that's why I built AI agents which can talk to you over phone calls, basically solving your problems of waiting lines, helping you instantly in your language, and being after you to just solve your problem essentially, right? So that is one problem that has resonated with me. You have to understand what is the problem that resonates with you. It is more relatable, and you can solve that. So that is the first thing, which is finding a niche. uh, Second would be, when you have found a niche, what are the different strategies to launch your product? So essentially, there is something known as GTM, which is go to market strategy. An example of this could be, for example, let's say you have created you are a fashion person and you have launched a new brand of shoes. Now, as we see on Shark Tank, there are a lot of companies who are into D2C consumer fashion, right? But everybody should have their go to market strategy. Like some companies, they focus on just tier 2, tier 3 cities on just fast fashion, because the tier 2, tier 3 cities are really want to, they're really aspirational. They want to uh, buy fast fashion products at a very affordable rate. And if a company can solve this problem of giving them fashionable products at affordable prices, they would really love to pick that brand. So that is one go-to-market strategy wherein you create first a brand or a product that is maybe fast fashion focused on tier 2, tier 3 cities, and you'll see a great adoption there. Another strategy could be you focus on the high-end market, which is people who are uh, like pretty decent to do, want to buy international brands, but they cannot find those brands in India, right? So you bring those brands, create a community where those brands are easily accessible at a very nominal price. And that is a space wherein that would be your GTM, where your go-to-market strategy is focusing on maybe the top 1% Indians, and marketing also to the 1% Indians, and giving them those products at a very standardized rate, and in a very easy manner. They don't have to fly out to a different country to buy a product. They can just buy it here online. So there are some of the go-to-market strategies wherein your product should be aligned with your market, and how you take your product to the market should be a very clear way wherein it should be evident that okay, this market that I'm catering to s- solves basically, my product solves the problem of this market, and that would be my GTM, right? Similarly, for a lot of tech companies, like let's uh, say for example GitHub. GitHub, when it started, it was just a repo for putting code there. So their go-to market was essentially just big tech companies like themselves, like GitHub. So they kind of reached out to maybe 5 or 10 big tech companies where there was a lot of code and they were not able to, handle and manage it. So they quickly reached out to them, showed them the initial product that this is what we are building, and you like to try out the demo? And because this was a real problem, they instantly bought it, tried using the product, and GitHub flew from there. Similarly, YouTube started by creating content. So the founders used to create content, then they spoke to 10 other people who used to create content, right? So the first step was to just create content. So they reached out to people who wanted to create a content, and they also gave them studios to shoot those videos. Once the content was there, it was rather easy to bring in the public to view the videos, right? So that is some of the strategies people use to grow their product. It's always important to go onto first principles and think, what is the how should we kind of capture the market in a way which is very cost effective, and also garners a lot of users for our product. Similarly, Facebook started with just colleges. So Facebook had to just market to one college, and they would instantly get maybe 1,000 users, 10,000 users from that college, right? If they would have to go to general public, they would have to multiple, like they would have to market to individual people, and then they would get individual people on the platform. So a very cost effective strategy, and a very clear GTM for Facebook was to target just colleges at that point of time, to just go to one college and then increase their user rate at a very rapid pace. Planning your product development life cycle. Now we have a niche, we have a market to cater to, and we have a GTM. Like this is what we need to do to go to the market. Now is when you should start building the product. Actually, what people do is they really start building the product at the first instance. That is not how you should do. You should first understand the niche, create resources, information, notes around that niche, then create your go to market strategy. How will I build the product that is going to solve for this market? What is the how you acquire the first set of users, and then is when you should start building the product actually, right? So I think it's very simple. It's just how we do our homework. We first plan the homework, establish timelines, uh, agile methodologies. That is, I mean, that's it's good if you use. It's okay if you don't use. You can anyways learn this on the go. Create a MVP, minimum viable product, and that is when you actually launch the product to go to the market. So while you are creating an MVP, you must already have been talking to all the people who are you are building for, you are solving that problem for, right? And once you have that MVP, you should directly give them for free, if at all possible, or charge them a minimal fee uh, that you want, so that they can still use it. It will solve their problem, and you can get feedback from them that how what are other features that they want, what are the problem areas that still this product gives them, how you can improve the product. A small example, you'll see problems all around. For a college student, I think one problem would be, let's say back in the day there was a lot of problem of notes, right? You have to copy photocopy a lot of notes, create multiple copies, right? And then somebody in their college invented Dropbox, that you put the document in Dropbox and anybody with the link could access it, right? So this was very simple, the technology, but a very problem solving technology. So problems are all around us, right? Dropbox is one such example wherein it solved a problem of notes, circulating notes among individuals and students. Google Drive was not a thing back then when Dropbox was the first cloud storage technology actually, which was marketed in this way, in a very public, friendly, usable way. Although, if you are aware about Amazon S3 was still there, but it was not marketed like that. So Dropbox kind of changed the entire paradigm of sharing public files in that manner. So have a timeline and don't focus on building the final product. Create an MVP, sell it to users for free or for a minimal fee, and then they will give you the feedback to improve it. Marketing, I think, is not necessary in the first few months. We still don't market ourselves because I think the first few months is just focused, should be focused on building the product, selling it to your consumers, which should be direct, not through marketing, but directly by reaching out to them actually. If let's say a shop owner is your ideal customer, just go to the shop, talk to him, sell him maybe for free, maybe for a initial small uh, discount, right? So on and so forth. And then you should, when let's say you have built a product which is is giving a good time to the users, solving a problem, and now you are ready to scale. Then that's when you should start scaling through email marketing, whatever is possible, LinkedIn ads, or maybe these days, Instagram Reels is a good method to market your product. So essentially, one more thing, which is you should never be never say no to a particular skill or thing. Like I'm a coder, I will not create videos or not market it, right? So you should always be open to doing more things. Now, some of the challenges that we have to navigate in SaaS engineering, let's say now your product is ready and now you are scaling and you are reaching that scale of, let's say, 1,000 users every day, 500 users every day. Now this is a decent scale wherein it's no longer a college project, but people are actually using it. That is when you have to upscale your uh, altogether engineering effort. You have to create multiple roles. You have to improve the product, improve the scaling. It should not be laggy. It should not send there should be no bugs in the product. There should be great design, free flowing architecture altogether. So there are a lot of things that you have to now focus on to give a great overall experience to the end user. And you don't want to become just a college project. Then you want to become a serious company now because you already have the product, people are using it, and you have a sense of seriousness here, that if you scale it, you put in the effort, there is a decent business that can build. But there are a lot of challenges at this stage because now it has outgrown a college project. Now you might need advice from senior developers, from experts in the field, from a marketing perspective, you might need help. So now is the time that you need serious efforts, serious help. And in this case, I would really ask people to just reach out to your seniors, reach out to people like maybe me or Kushal sir, or anybody you see is a veteran in the space. Just reach out to them. If they cannot help, reach out to somebody else. India is a 1.3 billion user market, so reach out to just people and they'll help out. This is some insights from our company, but not relevant as of yet. The only point that I was trying to make is you can really build successful companies in a very short journey if you're really dedicated and the problem that you're solving is good enough. So yeah, coming back to the basis, understanding the niche, finding your GTM, go to market strategy, then validating the product or building the MVP, minimum viable product, giving it to users for free or for a fees, then collecting feedback, improving the product, building traction, building a product at scale, and then scaling it from there with serious engineering effort, serious marketing, serious product design, serious architecture, and so on and so forth. So I think that was everything from my side. Would love to talk more offline because there are a lot of things that if somebody is interested to learn and grasp, they can from learning from the case studies that a lot of one-person companies have built over time. Some examples are Simple AI, Video.ai, in video, which started as a one-person company. A lot of one-person company, which are now doing, let's say, multiple millions in revenue, started with just one person, are now obviously at scale, doing at scale. But some of my founders, friends, I can name which are right now in one person mode, but I can guarantee you they will be doing multi-million dollars in the next future. Two companies that I can think of right now is Superblog.ai. The person is Sai Krishnan, and the second one I think is Supermeme.ai. So Superblog provides SEO, just one person uh, providing a great tool for your website SEO. Second is Supermeme, just one person company. What it does is you write a text and it gives you memes on that text, right? Very funny, very viral, and both of these companies are doing great in terms of traction revenue. Both of them solves a problem. They are just one person companies building end to end, and uh, they will do great in the times to come. So reach out to them, talk to more one person people founders if you're really passionate about it, and I think you'll eventually uh, do what you set out to. So that was from my side. Thank you so much, Harsh, Kushal sir. Any questions from your side?
Yeah. So the question was like for a solo AI SaaS founder, what
Right.
are your thoughts on outsourcing a specific task versus trying to learn and implement everything oneself, especially in area like legal or specialized marketing?
Right. So I think at this point of time, you don't need a lot of connected responsibilities like marketing. You don't need marketing at that point. You don't need HR. You don't need a lot of skills like maybe website designing. So it's okay to outsource. But as a college student, we don't have the money to outsource things. So if I was, let's say, in your place or anybody's place, what I would do is I would just use tools like Canva for designing for website. If I'm not a full stack designer or developer, I would rather go to websites like Wix, websites like Webflow, which can still give you a great website by just using the no code tool that they have built. So rather using tools and automations for doing the things that you don't know, and then focusing on your core technology and getting rid of everything else, because that's not required really. Marketing is not required. Instagram page is not required. LinkedIn page is not required. What is required is you just have one website and the product. That is all.
Got it. Like just to add on one more on it. So like how do you approach building a community or gathering feedback when you're the I would say like the sole point of contact for your AI SaaS?
Right. So I think how do we do that is one. First of all, I think it's very important that you sell and you collect feedback, because you are the first person working with the company. You should understand the problem end to end, because when the company grows and scale, uh, you kind of drifts away from the things which should be at focus, which is understanding consumer customer problems. So coming back to how to build a community and then how to collect feedback is you just find out maybe 10 companies, 20 companies that you can sell it to them. You create a list of 100 companies, start selling to them, focus on just having 10 initial users, uh, and try unless you get them, keep selling unless you get 10 users, and keep talking to them regularly. As long as they are providing you feedback, it means your product is actually solving a problem. Coming to the community side of things, that's actually a little tricky because when we are in college, we assume that creating a community is like just creating maybe a Discord channel or a Slack community, and then talking about things there, right? So building community in real life is actually slightly different, and it's very challenging. But it's actually the best way to of building a company or collecting feedback from your users of whatever scale. A great way to do that is providing some information or some nuances about their business, which you only share into the community, right? So you reach out to the, let's say you have created a list of 100 companies, you have reached out to them, you are already connected to them on LinkedIn, and you are, based on your understanding of talking to so many companies, you have created some information, you have collected some expertise, that this is the set of things that every business faces, and these are the solutions to it. Now this is a document that every business would require, that okay, I want to learn that. So you create some of these documents, certain valuable information, or certain information pieces, capsules, which you share only in the community. So once somebody joins the community, only then they'll be able to see it. And you create some snapshots of that into your general socials like LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. And from there, people will you'll gain traction. People will join the community because they will have that added incentive of that information. And then you could also create events of very consumer centric to that community, which only the members of the community can attend, and then you post those events on the social. So that's how you kind of grow the community. And if you're the product is very community focused, that is, I think, one way how you can build a community and collect feedback from there.
Right. So, it was I would like it was actually quite convincing. But like one of my last question I will ask about it is like you shared us valuable resources. Are there any specific online communities or let's say platforms you would recommend for solo AIs as founders to connect and learn from? I would say like each other.
Right. So there are multiple such communities. One such community is Indie Hacker. There are lots of them over every platform. There are there on Facebook, LinkedIn, Slack, Discord. It's just you have to reach out to and do a Google search, and you'll find a lot of communities of every scale. And Indie Hacker is one serious community where you'll find people who are building solo and also as co-founders. There's two people building the company. There is a Y Combinator co-founder, wherein you find a co-founder and you start building. It's a platform where you go list yourself like shadi.com, and you can find your co-founder there. So many communities, these are some of the international more recognized ones, but there are also local ones. Like if you are in Pune or Bangalore, you can just find Pune community, Pune Saas community, Pune founder community, builder community, or Bangalore community. So just do a Google search, LinkedIn search, you'll find ample of them. So I hope the session was actually fruitful. People of my age and various engineering pursuing students who are looking forward to entering this field or this scheme, like it would be helpful for them as well. And the session was actually fruitful for everyone of us. Thank you so much for your time, sir, in the early morning. It was great for having your time today.